Yo, call me an or a farmer the way I farmed and I got Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Cage. Today and only today, we are here to do something fun that I saw blowing up on the timeline, and that is your favorite things from Sonic franchise. I saw this grid, just going around, going viral, so I figured it'd be a fun way to start the year. Now that we sort of don't know what's coming in the future besides like Crossroads, I feel like this is a good time to put favorite things from the Sonic franchise and to lock the in. And of course, if you'd like to see more videos like this, please make sure to subscribe to your boy, support the content. We're about to go into a crazy year with 2025, hopefully new energy and new hype. So without further ado, let's start this. So top 3 2D games. Okay, so if I was gonna grab the top 3 2D games, no order, I think first and foremost, we gotta agree Sonic Mania, right? At least for me. I feel like this is, this is the game. I think this is the easiest answer out of all of these, right? If I was to grab it, put it right here. I mean, it's Sonic Mania. It's one of the best looking games in the series. It's a celebration of not only classic Sonic, but I just feel like Sonic in general, whether it like comes from Sonic Mania shorts or the opening intro or even the music, like it just felt like such a love letter to the series in so many ways at a time where we really needed that, where everything was going wrong with the Sonic franchise, whether it was something like a Boom or a Mania, well, not like Mania is the good thing, but like stuff like Boom or Forces coming out, or Lost World. We had just had a bit of while since we really had something that was peak, and I still think to this day I'm looking for that, man. I'm looking for a Mania 2. I'm looking for some level of 2D to match this one's freak. But this one, I mean, you guys know the story. Just beautiful sprite work, beautiful everything. I love it so much. Next one, I think, right, especially upon a replay of it in Sonic Origins, I think I'm going to say Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I think Sonic 3 and Knuckles not only is just, a game that's very easy to love, right, just because of the amount of content, but I just think, like, it's so inspired, right? I still think to this day, like, musically, whether it's the OG soundtrack with Michael Jackson, or even if some of the new songs don't hit, I feel like musically, it's pretty fantastic. Not only just that, but I think level design-wise, it's got some incredible stuff over there. Obviously, you have the most playable characters at the time. I love that. Obviously, I didn't grow up in the era where could play this game without Knuckles, but Knuckles basically like doubles the game length. You get an insane amount of zones in there. You got some sick level design. You've got Hypersonic in there. You've got just, I don't know, like really good shit. Like if I was to go search, right, like Sonic 3 and Knuckles zones, right? If I think of some of the best ones over there, you have Hydro City, which is amazing. You have Ice Cap, which is amazing. You have Angel Island, which is amazing. Mushroom Hill, which is amazing. I really love Sky Sanctuary, iconic. You know what I'm saying? The Doomsday fight is so fucking cool. Carnival Night, I know people find it silly, but I love the look of it. So I think overall, just the track record of zones in it is really good. Do I like Flying Battery that much? Maybe not, but I still think Sonic 3 and Knuckles is still like a pretty fantastic experience. Now, I'm struggling for the third one, not because I don't have a choice, but I'm thinking if it's between Sonic Rush for me and Sonic CD, because I have a very special place in my heart for Sonic CD, whether it be because of the opening animation or just, the vibes of it, the level, like, looks of it. Now, upon replays, I have noticed that, like, it sort of has this problem where the level design is just kind of whatever, right? But it's very much carried by its style. But I think a game that has style and substance is Sonic Rush. And I think Sonic Rush is, of the modern 2D Sonic games, the one that I think gets it the most, I think deserves some more love, right? Because obviously you got a new playable, character in the franchise, right? One of the first times and only times we got like a second female lead in a Sonic game. But I also just think like the vibes of it, whether it's Hideki's OST, whether it's the use of the dual screens on the DS, the way they handled like being able to boost in 2D, the trick system, it's just such a satisfying game to play, move in. And while I do think it has the problems of like, the bottomless pits that, a lot of, what's the developer's name? Fucking dead. Damn it, I forgot the name. Whatever. The developer's name, they always do bottomless pits as their problem. I still think Sonic Rush provides enough style and a cool story, very lovable story. Blaze, such a cool character. I love the final fight with Super Sonic and Super Blaze. I think Sonic Rush easily one of the top 3 2D games for me, at least. Now, top 3 3D games, man. This one for me, you all know. Like this, I love this series too much. So this answer will literally change depending on, the mood I'm in, the day, how I'm feeling that day, right? And I think the first one and foremost for me, right, is it is Sonic Frontiers. And I know for, I know that with Sonic Frontiers, there's still a lot of growing room to be had. You know, obviously it's a game that like you can tell is stitched together in a lot of ways, right? You know, it's a game that has issues and stuff, but overall, man, I mean, I love so much about Frontiers. You guys know that I love just the open zone. I love the story. The boss fights are some of my favorite by far in the series. I don't know, there's something about this game that very much captivates me, right? I just like running around open zones. I love Kronos Island. I like Sage as a character. I love the Final Horizon. I feel like this game holds the spectacle of 3D Sonic really well. And like I said, while I can very, 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 very clearly see where things need to be worked on and when things need to be changed and improved for the future, I feel like when I look at something like Shadow Gens, I see where the future blueprint is of the mix of polish with the mix of, you know, level design and all that. But I really enjoy cyberspace levels. I enjoy all the content they added. So overall, I adore Sonic Frontiers. Now, if I was to pick my next choice, shit, man, I think I'm going to say it. I think it is going to be Sonic Adventure. I think Sonic Adventure is another top 3 for me. I adore this game. This is a game that actually I thought I didn't like as much as I grew up. But then when I actually replayed it recently on streams, I actually ended up loving it a lot more. I think it's the one that has some of the best style in the series. I think the level design in it is super well made. And I feel like, honestly, you know, the Cat Cafe, once you actually know what the mechanic is actually pretty simple. And I feel like it has some of the best stories in the series. I feel like the story they tell with Takal is really good. Knuckles stuff with the Master Emerald. The Chaos as an enemy is really menacing. I don't know, this game, even the city, like Station Square, feels like home. You know, yeah, I love how it evolves over time. Like you have the NPCs saying different dialogue bits and things. I don't know, there's something very charming and lovable about Sonic Adventure's world and characters and the multi-playable characters. And I just love a lot of the levels. I love Windy Valley. I love the version of Ice Cap in it. I really like, you know, that egg station, you know, the egg ship level you got in there. The Knuckles hunting stages are better because you can find the Chaos Emerald pieces in any order. I don't know, I love so much about this game. They do a good job with the atmosphere, the vibe, every character having different themes. Just amazing stuff overall. All right, now number 3. Oh man, this is gonna be a tough one. What would I say is my top 3 Sonic game? Now, for me, it's a tie. Again, depending on the week you ask me, it'll swap between Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Unleashed, and Sonic Colors that I have a very fondness for, right? Deep fondness for. And even recently, Shadow Gens, right? But I do think if I were to search in my soul, and I replayed it recently, and I think because of its imprint it has on my soul and body and everything, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's kind of changed from when I did the rankings. It's Sonic Adventure 2. I actually recently replayed it after trying to A-rank missions. Now, A-ranking the missions made me want to die, but it made playing the levels regularly much more enjoyable because now I really know what I'm doing when I'm playing this game. And I think I'm gonna put Sonic Adventure 2 just because, man, to this day, there is not a 3D Sonic game that I don't try to go back to as much as this one. Whether it's City Escape, whether it's Metal Harbor, whether it's Radical Highway, whether it's not Rail Canyon, but the other canyon that Shadow goes to. And even honestly, the mech levels, I've kind of gotten used to them. The Knuckles levels aren't even that bad because they're pretty small, and I actually can figure out most spots in it overall over time. The story of Sonic and Shadow in is pretty fantastic. I feel like every character gets their roles done super well. And I just feel like this game, whether it's music, level design, or it cooks all around. But again, in another time, another day you ask me, Sonic Unleashed would probably be here too. All right, now this one is actually kind of difficult, bro. Top 3 zones from any game. Shit. That's actually kind of a brutal question because I have to think between 2D and 3D. Okay, so I'm going to say right off the bat, if we're talking about Sonic, Rooftop Run. Right, I think Rooftop Run is a level that it is well encompassed and feels like whenever you go to it is kind of the celebration of the series, right? Like when you get to Rooftop Run, you're like, oh, okay, like I get it. You know, this is the level that represents Sonic super well because you have this like joyous OST playing through it. Whether it's in Unleashed or Generations, you have like a beautiful version of it. You know, whether it's even in the racing games where you play a version of it. I just feel like Rooftop Run is such a, I don't know, there's something so beautiful about it. I think you can all agree and understand where I'm coming from with this zone, right? It's just like, it's a love letter to the series. It feels like the way you're rail grinding on rooftops, the way you're jumping on, the way you're like hitting the balloons in there, the way you're sort of like going over the giant clock in the sky. There's something about it that just feels so special to not only learn how to master, but with the music playing, it's beautiful. I adore Rooftop Run, and I wouldn't change a damn thing about it. Now, top 3 zone, I gotta keep thinking in my mind. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is another one that I'm gonna say here, and it's not gonna be a crazy one, but it's one that, you know, I just love to my core, and that's Stardust Speedway. I love Stardust Speedway so much. There's something about this level to me that always has stuck out in a sense to me, just because of the music, and I love the level design of it, whether you're in the future version or the past version. I don't know, I just love Stardust Speedway so much. I think you guys like can understand that, right? Just because it's such a good, I don't know, it's such a good way to represent and to enjoy a classic 2D Sonic level. And I love how even they remix it in Sonic Mania, right, with it. And I love, obviously, the fight with Metal Sonic towards the end of it with the hiss. And I feel like this level has just maximum joy when I think of Sonic in so many ways. I just started Speedway, whether it's the music, whether it's the vibes, whether it's the way you're running around there, whether you're jumping on the rockets, going through all the tubes. I just love Stardust Speedway so much. Oh man, another top 3 zone. Fuck, this is so hard, bro. This one is so tough. Out of all the zones in the game, right? And obviously, I'm assuming zones is just counting any level in the series, right? Not just like classic 2D zones. I'm going to say City Escape. I think City Escape is one of the best opening levels in not just Sonic, but I think in video games, right? I think this level, it makes you, like, you play it and you're like, I get it, right? Because it has a mix of, you know, the skateboarding segment, the music. It obviously, City Escape's theme is phenomenal, but it just has everything I want from a Sonic level. It has a mix of a thrill with the skateboarding section. It's got really great platforming in the section where you are just running around a Sonic, and then you have the spectacle, right, with the gun truck chasing you towards the end of it. You've got loops in it. Like, it's so fucking good. And whether it's the original or whether it's the remix version in Generations, I always feel like City Escape is the level that draws me back the most, you know. But again, with Sonic zones, there's obviously a billion of them that I really love and I would love to shout out over here. But these are the other ones. I would love to say those Studiopolis from Mania is also one of my favorites that I absolutely love going back to. All right, now you're about to stump me a little bit. Top 3 Sonic songs. Fuck, that's a tough one, man. That one is a tough one. Okay, so the easy answer right away is Reach for the Stars, right? Reach for the Stars is by far not only my favorite Sonic song, but my favorite song in general. All right, I've said this before, like, that song to me is just everything I adore about the series encompass, you know, just like the messaging of it, right? The style of it, and it feels so Sonic, and it feels like such a bop. I've always just had a deep fondness for Reach for the Stars, right? It's like, I'm gonna reach for the stars. It's like, I don't know, it's incredibly vibey. It's over the top. I love hearing orchestrated versions of it and everything. Like, to me, Reach for the Stars is the absolute song for me. I adore it so much. I'm going to say, fuck, this is so tough, man. You can't do it with Sonic. This literally will depend on what week you listen to these songs. You know what I mean? I think you all understand that, right? But I am going to say for this next one, I'm gonna make the bold claim. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, everybody. I'm just gonna say it. It's gonna happen. I really do think Undefeatable featuring Kellen Quinn is the closest I've ever gotten to a euphoric song experience. Right, I adore all the Titan themes, right? I think all the Titan themes are amazing. I love just a lot of the songs in Frontiers, but I feel like Undefeatable Kellen Quinn is a song that rewired brain chemistry for not just me, but a lot of people. And I just think the way it plays during that fight, the way it sways in, like how Sonic it feels in the coolest way, right? It's time to face your fears. Whether I've heard the song live, whether I've heard it in the game, whether I've heard it as motivation when I'm working out, I just feel like Sonic, like Undefeatable to me is just it felt like modern Sonic's theme, you know, and it's just so beautifully well done. I adore it with my life. It's so fucking good, man. I love it with my life. And I gotta pick only, man, I can't just pick 3, bro. Like between classic songs I love, like whether it's Hydro City, whether it's Studiopolis, but I feel like the vocal themes are the ones that really stand out to me. Sonic Colors Final Boss theme is amazing, but I do think Sonic Unleashed Final Boss theme is so fucking good. God damn it, how am I supposed to pick one? Damn it. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be bold. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna do it. For top 3 songs, another motivational one. And of course, I can't have this without Crush 40, Night of the Wind. I think Night of the Wind, if I was to say my 3rd favorite Sonic song, is that because it's so fucking raw. It feels like probably the best Crush 40 song to me. It has so much fucking energy, right? It feels so Sonic. Coded, you know, as I said, as I stand at the table I'm in, my kingdom, I'm the night of the widow. Like the chants that happen when that song comes out are so fucking cool. Whether I've heard it live, whether I've heard it in the game, I just feel like Night of the Wind is an incredible theme for Sonic, and just like one of the most over the top, grandiose ones that I really love. So that's gonna be my choice for Sonic music. Now, all right, next one, best spin-off, favorite Sonic spin-off. Okay, that's a tough one. Now, I'm assuming when they say spin-off, it means a game that is not like a platformer. So pure spin-off. So this could be Olympics, this could be Riders, this could be something. I'm gonna say, I really do love Murder of Sonic, but I don't think I can sway my mind away from Sonic Riders. I replayed it recently, and whether it's the OG version or whether it's fan versions or whatever, I feel like Sonic Riders is the perfect spin-off that encompasses so much about Sonic style. You know what I mean? You guys know it. I mean, the style of it to this day is, I feel like, unmatched almost. Like there's something so good about it, and I think maybe it's because like Sonic Team were the ones in charge of it, as opposed to today like Sumo Digital that work on the other spin-offs. But yeah, for me, Sonic Riders is definitely the one that carries the most energy, and technically it's one of the most fun to learn, to be frankly honest with you. But yeah, I love Sonic Riders, and I think a lot of people would too. Favorite fan game? Now actually I just kind of played one recently that was amazing. That was Sonic Galactic, but Sonic Galactic isn't done. A lot of fan games aren't done. So I'm gonna say for my favorite fan game, it's gonna be Sonic and the Fallen Star. If you guys have not played, this is actually like a complete 2D Sonic game. They actually sadly canceled the sequel, which was gonna be Sonic and the Moon Facility. Sadly, I think they just had like development issues. But this game, if you guys have not played it, it's amazing. I mean, it's literally a full new 2D Sonic game for you guys to play. It has beautiful sprite work. It's got like really fun bosses, really good level design. I love so much about it. So if you guys have not checked this out, by all means, go ahead and check it. And again, this takes away any moments where I'm like, damn, they should shelve 2D Sonic. I'm like, no, they shouldn't. They just gotta make 2D Sonic a little bit more flashy and fun. So Sonic and the Fallen Star is gonna take my cake for favorite Sonic fan game. Ooh, favorite ship. Okay. Now, I am not a shipper. You know, that's not my thing. That's not what I do. You know, that's not what I believe in. Obviously, you know, Aru shows up sometimes, you know, and influences me a little bit. But I will say, of all the characters in Sonic together, I will say Sonic and Amy are probably the best ship. I think they're like the cutest. I think they're dynamic, where like Sonic understands I don't know how to say it, like Sonic understands their relationship, right, and how their dynamic is, right, without leaning into it too much. But I feel like these two characters definitely know that they care about each other a lot, and I just think Sonic, I think the thing about Sonic is just he knows he's not a relationship type person, but he also understands that what he has with Amy is special. I think he knows that, and I think he cares for her a lot, and he just doesn't, you know, he doesn't say it, you know, that's just not his style. He's always gonna run around and be free, right? But yeah, I think of all these ships, I would say Sonic and Amy is the best one for me, and the one I care about the most. Ooh, favorite robot in Sonic. I mean, I think, ooh, this is weird. This is a toss-up between Metal and Omega. I will say I really do love Omega, right? I think Omega is pretty raw. But I do think, and we can all agree, you know, however you feel about it, Metal Sonic takes this one. I think Metal Sonic is I don't know how you say it. Like, I feel like the idea of just a clone of Sonic is not necessarily the best thing on paper, but there's something about Metal Sonic and his aura that's just so fucking cool. Whether it is literally just straight up his design, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's, you know, the fact that he's just a killer machine, whether it's Metal Overlord versions of him or, you know, Neo Metal or any version of the character. I just think Metal Sonic has always been cool, whether it's in the OVA or Sonic CD or again in IDW with recent stuff or Heroes. Like, I can't wait to see the future of Metal Sonic, and you guys know what I mean. He's raw as fuck. He's cool. I don't need to tell you more than that. Favorite boss? This is interesting because I always feel like with Sonic games, not that bosses aren't great. I feel like bosses can be maybe some of the weakest aspects of the game, but I'm gonna say, and I know this isn't gonna be the best answer for everybody. For me, I think it's the end, like the actual final horizon, the end, because you get a boss that looks terrifying, is being controlled by the moon, but you get the Supersonic 2 fight, which is a mix of like visuals and raw energy that I just like fuck with extremely heavy. You know, I love so much about this fight. Like, it's the one that got me jumping out of my seat the most, right? Whether it's Sonic, you know, launching him into the air, whether it's Sonic leaving his super form and getting back into it, whether it's him doing the snap and crushing him. So this one is less about the boss itself and more about like the spectacle that comes with it. And for me, I'm a big fan of spectacle in boss fights. So for me, the end and from Final Horizon is probably my favorite boss in the series. All right, favorite TV related product. So this I'm guessing is like any of the animations or movies or anything. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is gonna be a toss-up between Sonic X and Sonic Movie 3. Because Sonic Movie 3 provided me with the biggest jumps I ever had in cinema. You know what I mean? For anything Sonic related, right? But I will say, even though this show has issues, and I think you all know what I'm gonna say, I still think in my heart of hearts from my childhood, one thing that got me really into Sonic was Sonic X. I think Sonic X is while again, very flawed show, very slice of lifey. I think when you watch the Japanese version, when you think of why Sonic is cool, a lot of it comes from how Sonic X was handled. My man would just chill and lay back and then go save the day. He would be flexing on enemies. He'd be doing really cool shit. And I feel like that was really when you understood how the cast was like. You know, Tails was very heartfelt and smart, went through some emotional stuff. You have Amy with a bit of a psychoness, but she was raw as fuck, right? Sonic was the coolest he'd ever been. Shadow was the coolest he'd ever been. You had super moments. You had, obviously, have issues with stuff like Chris and some of the side stories, but I really do feel like you got some of the best interpretations of the characters from Sonic X. So I think from the bottom of my heart, I would still say Sonic X takes this one. All right, top 3 male characters from the series. Okay, well, obviously, I mean, if anybody here knows me, my number 1 is Sonic. I love Sonic is my favorite character. I know some people will be like, how fucking dare you, Fidel? There's a lot more characters in the series. Sonic is my guy. I mean, you guys know me. Like, that is my dude through and through. He's the character I know, and that's the joy of Sonic, right? Is I'll never be Sonic, right? But there's a joy to wanting to be as cool as Sonic or learn lessons from him. You know that, you know, life is about, you know, freedom and making the choices you want to and being the person you want to be. Sonic is just everything that I wish I could be, and he's the GOAT. I mean, he's the GOAT always. He's the MC that doesn't just feel like an MC. He feels like a legend to me in a lot of ways. So obviously, my boy Sonic, always number 1. My next one, I'm going to say Shadow, right? I'm going to say Shadow the Hedgehog. I'm going to use the picture of him with the gun from the movie. Not that necessarily he's my favorite interpretation of Shadow, but Shadow is just so fucking cool. And honestly, I used to just kind of like Shadow and think he was really cool. But I really do think this year specifically pushed him for me. I really feel like they made him, and they made an already cool character that everybody loved, and they made him 10 times cooler, right? Whether he has fucking doom wings, right? Whether his sadder backstory with Maria, now embracing stuff with him with the gun or everything. Like, I think Shadow's design is so perfect. I think his voice acting in most things is amazing. I think His gameplay is super fun in most of the games he's in. I mean, Shadow Gen's one of the most polished, coolest experiences they've ever had. The way he is in the movie is so fucking cool. Even in Sonic X, I mean, I would say he's the most in character there. He's the most tragic, but he stays raw. I love when he's silly and stuff, like whether it's Tails Tube or Murder of Sonic. Like, I love Shadow so fucking much. And then my third favorite male character. This is a tough one. This is a tough one, everybody. I gotta think about this for a moment. You know what I'm saying? I gotta put my hands together. But no, I do think through and through, the best third character in the series for me, male-wise, is Knuckles. I think Knuckles is a character that, you know, has the mix of being a bit of a dork while being cool as fuck. And everything about him, I just love so much. You know, whether it's his movie interpretation, whether it's his main game interpretations. When Knuckles is written well, he just stands out to me so much. You know, I just love his aura. I love how angry he can get. I love his relationship with Sonic in Frontiers. I love them in Sonic X. I even like the emerald hunting. I love, you know, how chill, laid back he can be, and then how angry he can get. You know, I don't like when they lean too much on him being, you know, a complete doofus, but I like that Shadow is more like ignorant, but also like genius person, and really someone who who has a lot of honor and has a lot of, you know, sadness with him from his OG, you know, days, thinking he's one of the last echidnas. But yeah, I love Knuckles so much. And then my top 3 female characters. Okay, this is actually a tough one, not because there aren't that many, but because I actually love a lot of the girls in Sonic. I'm gonna say, obviously, Amy Rose, right? Amy Rose is her. She is a cutie. She is a little bit crazy, but she's always very lovable. She always feels like she's there. I love her design so much. Like, I've always just loved Amy's design in general. I think she's like a perfect design for a character. And I mean, Amy is just a character that you can really rely on, because even though she's very lovey-dovey with Sonic, she is still someone that cares about everyone around her and wants to protect people, wants to protect wildlife. She's so cute, whether it's in her OG version, whether it's in stuff like Sonic Mania Adventures with Metal Sonic, whether it is in Sonic CD, whether it's in some of the modern cutscenes. Like, I just love Amy so much. She's such a cutie. She's smart. She's crazy. She's wild. And I really do hope for whatever they do in the future, even though there's tarot cards involved, I do hope they lean a little bit on her wild side while keeping her cute and fun like they did in Murder of Sonic, because I think that's like one of her best interpretations. My next favorite girly pop in Sonic is going to be Blaze the Cat. I think Blaze the Cat for me takes the cake of a character. Like, it's you know, we got her introduced in Sonic Rush. I wish they would do more with her, because I love the idea of this princess that's thrown into a scenario that like is a bit more casual when it comes to Sonic, and she learns a little bit about life, you know, and a little bit about some joys while also still kicking ass, right, and being cool as fuck. I love her design. I love the idea of her using her fire abilities. I like her powers. I like how she looks, and I just like her a lot. And I wish they would do more with her, right? Did they need to kill her in Sonic 06? Probably not. And obviously it's retcon. She's alive and living well, but I don't know. I love the idea of this royal character that like hangs out with, well, I guess you would, they're not really peasants obviously, but you know, some people that would be under her, but treats them as family and friends and can pull up whenever. And I hope we get more of Blaze. There's a lot of the girly pops I love, right? I do love Marine, right, from Sonic Rush Adventure. I know she's annoying, but she's fun. I do like Tangle and Whisper a lot, but I do think overall, if I were to think of a girl that not only is, you know, a baddie, but is also very cool, I'm going to go with Rouge the Bat. You know, I'm going to go with Rouge the Bat. I think Rouge is a character that, of course, is sexy. We all know that she a baddie. But I also think Rouge is kind of cool with it. Like, she kind of owns that sexiness about herself in a lot of ways. She's a jewel thief, right? So she often knows what she's doing when she's having conversations. But especially after Shadow Generations, I really felt like I appreciated her dynamics and relationship with Team Dark, right? Like, where there's nothing going on there, you know, romantically with her as Shadow, but she has a great deep of respect for him. I love how she wants him to go to the party. I love her dynamics with Omega. I even like, you know, their dynamic in Sonic Heroes, and obviously Shadow Dark Beginnings. She's so cool. Like, I don't know, I've always loved Rouge, not just because of the design, but she's a badass. I mean, she's cool as fuck. right? I feel like there's a difference in a character that's just a baddie and that's their thing versus like a baddie who's really cool. And I actually would love if they explored Rouge a little bit more. You know, I would love an animated short about Rouge, you know, about being a jewel thief. I mean, about like what does she do most of the time? Is she just on missions? Does she have someone she's thinking about that she cares for? I don't know, but I think there's a lot more to her, especially from her time in Shadow Dark Beginnings. But I like that she has a good dynamic with everybody, but never too close to anybody. So yeah, I think that's that with that character. But yeah, that is some of my favorite things from the Sonic franchise. Again, with this series, there's so much shit that goes on, so many new things that happen that this could change at any given moment. But yeah, this is gonna be mine. So guys, let me know in the comment section below your favorite things from the Sonic franchise, guys. And I can't wait for a crazy 2025. I love you guys. Thank you all for watching. Of course, I will see you all next time. Peace out.